And we should be live from what I'm understanding. Hello tonight and welcome everybody to our special Ivy live stream chat tonight. We are here with myself as usual, Binnsy, Nico, thank you very much for joining us again, my friend, Adam as well, and Minster as most of you know him, and Pinguzad, Pingy as most of you know her as well. Guys, you want to say hello?
Hello everyone, and thank you for having me once again.
Hello, everybody.
And Adam, if you're here.
Hello.
Great.
Nice to meet you, all of us.
Great. So we're all here and ready. We're going to be your host for tonight. As always, it's more likely going to be me and Nico running the show with Adam and Pingy as nice support and as always asking all them important questions. So what is tonight's stream all about? So, my tonight's stream and what I really wanted to do alongside with Nico, we had many discussions of this before and we decided we wanted to run it this year to give this special thank you and welcome to firstly SWC, which is Supremacy World Competition, and also HAT, which is Heroes Alliance Tournament, as we all very well know. Both have been very prestigious tournaments this year. And some big teams, and I'm not going to lie, from when we last discussed Nico, there's been some shocks, some huge games.
Surprised. We're in the final four of both tournaments. Both are nearing their conclusion, and of the glorious teams that entered, only a few have achieved the glory they envisioned. Some flags, and I'm talking about Blitz there, had to be quickly packed away. I don't know about everybody, but I was particularly surprised, and given the votes, I'm not the only one, by Blitz's defeat after a very hard-fought battle against Liga Narodów, the formidable Liga Narodów team. Last year, they lost to the then champions, and this year, they're back to win the title.
Yeah, I think to be honest with you, if we go back the couple of months that we went back now, Nico, and we sat here and we had a little discussion as we went through. We went all the way through the knockout stages and made our predictions, my friend. Yes. And in truth, I think I remember I did pick Icadetti. I did enjoy their group games. So I think I've done pretty well in there. I think we both agreed on the Ronins as well. Nelva Academy getting as far as they did. We also agreed with that. And then I did top Ronins to take Nelva Academy. Obviously, I think you was a bit torn at the time because of the personal connections that you've got over there. But yeah, we can both appreciate that was two amazing teams going head to head, and obviously the Ronins took it. Just going on to the right hand side as well on the SWC. Operation Blitzkrieg against Fatima. I think we both predicted that Operation Blitz would take that. Yes. But I think the big shock is where it came next. The LNZ taking Blitzkrieg, like you just mentioned. I think that's...
Yeah. As I said, almost everybody voted for Blitz as if not the winner of the whole tournament, at least finalist.
Yeah,
they have been eliminated by a really great team. Okay, like I said, last year they finished third in the AT tournaments, so not a light team. And last year they have beat Blitz. For the first time. That's the second time they beat Blitz. Almost like some sort of nemesis.
To be honest with you, I did predict a French semi-final on this right-hand side between yourselves and Blitz. LNZ, absolutely amazing Polish team, and everyone knows that. They're getting clearly stronger and stronger each year they're coming back. And who knows, they could go on all the way. Nelva stands as their next opponents, which we did predict you as coming through that area there.
We're just where we need to be.
I'm pretty sure they were easy games, though. None of these games have been easy for anybody in the SWC.
We had a pretty easy path compared to some other teams, but we could ask Remi, who is here to talk for Nelva in a bit. Later.
We'll dive into to Remi a little bit later on that. So I'm just going to switch over to HAT and get a little chat about that. I've put it up on the screen live from the online knockout from there. We're looking down with Nelva Academy again in both competitions, going strong in both areas and making it up to the knockout stages. That is, I'm going to say it now, Nico, but that is some achievement. To even get through group stages of any tournament is hard, but imagine doing it in both SWC and HAT. That is a hat off moment for me, right to the Nelva Academy right there, by the way.
Thanks.
Unfortunately, they didn't progress into the quarters, but they did make the knockout stages against a very strong team for their next lineup, which obviously is made it all the way to the semi-finals so far, and maybe they can go all the way as well.
Maybe.
Yeah, in Birbambia Kirgudu.
It's always comforting to say to yourselves, I've lost, but I've lost to the champion. So maybe
that, yes.
Second, I could have been second, maybe.
Maybe.
No, that's not the case. That's not the case here.
Imagine if it goes both ways, and in the SWC and the HAT, and they say, "Well, we lost to both champions."
Yeah, maybe.
That'd be something crazy. And then we're looking down, further down onto the next ones. We obviously had some controversy with the Boot Brigade game and Guardian Nocturna. Again, I don't want to go too much into it. Things happened, but let's just say I think majority of the community wanted one team to win on that because of what's happened, and they got through to the quarterfinals, where they met the Pride Alliance Academy, who, my understanding, has been very outstanding this tournament, and are definitely ones to watch going into the semi-finals. It's going to be a great lineup between Birbambia Kirgudu and Pride Alliance Academy.
The team's Guardia Nocturna was out of a really tough fight against Boot Brigade, and they were tired, exhausted, and I don't want to take away nothing from Pride of Lion Academy. It's a great team too, so obviously they deserve their win, but Guardia Nocturna had a pretty good line this year. It was impressive to see them come from nowhere and beat Boot Brigade, forcing them to let's say to do what they have done.
Absolutely.
And beat them anyway. That's important.
Absolutely.
So, kudos to them.
I think looking at this top half of the table, we both. Who did you go for the Nelva Academy Birbambia Kirgudu game? Who did you choose?
I was sure Nelva Academy would win this match.
I don't know if I can't remember who I went for, to be perfectly honest, but yeah, I'll move on from there. Battalione Wolf and Bohemians. Again, I think we both went. If I'm correct, we both went with Bohemians on this time round.
I think so, yes.
Yeah, and then moving down the Boot Brigade game. Yeah, I think it was me who went for Boot Brigade, and I think it was you who went for the Nocturna, which definitely came out on your top end. And then Pride Alliance Academy, I think we both went for in this game.
Yeah.
And then moving down Kaizen versus the Shah game. Again, Kaizen's relatively new team, couple of years into the competitive scene.
Indonesian team.
Yeah, doing really well, may I add, by the way. But I'll come to that a little bit later on. And then obviously we got the Livy game. We're against the Spartans. I backed obviously my own team in this case, and I do believe so as well. You backed ourselves as well.
Yeah, against Spartan 300, it was a no match. Sincerely, I can say Spartan didn't fought, but Livy is way a league higher, 2 league.
And then moving down to the BiKu game, again, I think we both said the BiKu was definitely, the Order BiKu was definitely going to win that one. I think, like you've just said, a couple of leagues above in their case here. And then Sons of Odin game. I think I followed Sons of Odin throughout this, and I said they was going to do well. And I think you backed me in agreeing with Sons of Odin for this. For the quarterfinals, to move into the quarterfinals, and then moving on to the quarterfinals, obviously, We thought Nelva was going to be there. I think I do
Yeah.
remember also joining you on the Nelva as well.
Totally.
And then we did predict a Nelva win for that. But obviously, Birbambia did the opposite. They took the win and then took the win again to go and meet Pride Alliance Academy. Nocturna, obviously, like you've just mentioned, Pride Alliance. I think we did mention that Pride of Lions would have beaten either Boot Brigade or Nocturna at this case.
Yes.
We both agreed with that, which did happen.
Pride of Lion Academy, maybe it's just an academy in the name, but it's the academy of the previous world champions. It's not.
Absolutely not, yeah.
It's nothing.
No, definitely it's not true.
What? What is not true?
I very appreciate you to ask this question or to mention that the Pride of Lions Academy is like a part of main allies.
Mm-hmm.
But we do a lot of things and work to improve the newcomer experience.
Absolutely, yeah. That's what we're saying as well. We're saying you,
but it's not the academy of a little team. It's the academy of Pride of Lions.
Yes.
So
you're carrying.
We are waiting for this academy to be a step higher versus the other team of academies or new teams.
Even some existing teams, to be honest with you, like some strong teams. I think the academies, there's no academy out there that I know of right now that's going to be brushed aside. There's reasons these big teams have got academies is because they've got absolutely outstanding Welsh experience throughout. Nelva for being one of them, and I know you don't really like to be involved in that conversation, Nico, because it's part of you really well. But Nelva's got an amazing academy, clearly, and Pride of Lions is another great example of that. Livy, I know we've got an academy as well, to some sort, or Livy 2 as you can call it. But all strong teams are finding that the rosters in that area are just becoming so strong that, and they want to make sure that new people are coming through, that they're opening up these academies and they're thriving with them. They're doing really well. So absolutely hats off to you, Evingley. Pride of Lions Academy, carrying your own name there as an academy. Maybe even have to change the name soon, my friend, to Pride Alliance 2. Something to be stepping up against Pride Alliance. Then we move down to the Livy Kaizen game. Obviously, I'm always going to back myself with Livy. I do believe you also backed us again against Kaizen. I think you did say we were going to be a little bit too strong for them again.
Totally.
Especially Kaizen, 2 competitive years. They've done pretty well to get to the quarterfinals, in my opinion. And then the Order BiKu versus Sons of Odin. This was always going to be a tough game, I think, in this quarterfinals right there. I think for me that was going to be one of the biggest winning games. And then BiKu took it, and I was going to be a little bit of a betting man. I would have said BiKu was going to win that.
Yes, too.
I think slightly too much for Odin to bite off and chew there. But fair play to Sons of Odin. Absolutely outstanding tournament. I did say there was one to watch.
Could have been a win. It was not an easy fight.
Exactly, yeah. So I think in different circumstances, they maybe even got to the semis if they pulled out maybe a different team out of there. But that's the draw. That's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah. We'll see next year. See next year. Sons of Odin got a good leader, good spirits. I think they can go far. If they continue to train, they can go far.
Absolutely. So that leaves us to the semi-finals of HAT, which is... Go on, Nico. I'll let you introduce the HAT one.
The HAT one. We've got Birbambia Kirgudu against Pride of Lions Academy. And that's 2 Russian teams, or at least with the Russian flag.
Sure is.
And you got Livy versus the Order BiKu. Netherlands versus another Russian team.
Yeah.
All Russian team in this final 4 team. Impressive. We were not waiting for that. Surely I was not.
I think.
Could you please explain why you not expect the 2 team from Rus server, not Russian?
3 teams.
Three teams from
Yes.
Rus server. Rus server, not Russian team, Rus server.
Yeah, sorry, Rus server. Yes, apologies.
Russian server.
From the Russian,
server.
yeah, we just because we go off the flags from the server area.
Yes, sorry.
not predict in particular that the Russian teams indefinitely.
Yes. In fact, it's because statistically, when you have only 3 teams from one server, it's hard to say that these 3 teams will be in the 4 finalists.
Absolutely. So even for me, Livy, Netherlands team. Obviously, with my accent, you can clearly tell I am not from the Netherlands, but I take pride in being part of a Netherlands team, and rock the flag with pride. Realistically, yeah. So Netherlands international, same maybe for a couple of the Rus teams as well, but 3 Rus teams in there. Yeah. Do you know what, Nico? I'm kind of expecting it. The Russian teams this year. And like with pride as well, the reigning champions, they're out there, my friend. I think they're getting overlooked here, and the Rus teams are definitely out to play now. And like you just said, 3 of them in the semi-finals. Only really Livy a different flag area. I think. Who knows? It could be an all Russian final. We don't know.
Yeah. There you got big teams. The fact is, we don't hear many things coming from the Russian server. Mainly, first of all, because they are almost silent. They play right, but they don't go anywhere posting their flags or talking to the other leaders. And we got also the alphabet problem because I can't read Cyrillic, so it's difficult to create bounds.
Yeah, I understand you. That's okay. Yeah.
What I will say about the Rus teams is, for the ones that I've encountered so far, personally, wow, they know the mechanics. Yes. Fair play to the Rus teams. They are so great at crunching them small little numbers, that small little detail, and this is why it is showing that Rus is becoming one of the top servers within Supremacy, up there with, in my opinion, the French, the Spanish as well.
The Polish, don't forget them.
And the Polish. I would say, and no disrespect to any other server out there, but I would say they're the 4 hottest Supremacy leaders right now. Is the Spanish, the Polish, the Rush, and the French. They are really hotting up every single tournament in every single way. So obviously you've got 3 Rus. And obviously little outsiders of Netherlands in this SWC, but then if we flick back over to the SWC, we've got the Italians as well in there. Again with the Polish and the French again. But if we look majority, we are seeing a lot of Russians, we're seeing a lot of French teams in there, we're seeing a lot of Polish teams in there.
Yes.
And quite a few good Spanish teams in there as well. So yeah, them 4 servers are absolutely thriving right now on Supremacy, and rightly so. They crunch, every single one of them crunch their numbers, and this is where it gets down to the crunch time. If you want to be the best, if you want to be winning that final, you've got to know all these small details.
You know what? The toughest challenge we faced was against Team Kaizen in the first tournament.
All right. I'm going to hold you off on it, mate, just until we get you in, because that's the kind of stuff that I want really on your time. Does that make sense? If that's all right with you. The first one we are going to come to tonight is someone who's quite close to Nico. Obviously, we all know Nico is absolutely amazing with Nelva, but I have asked for Nico just to step away from it for tonight because he is a host. So tonight we are bringing in Remi. Hello, Remi, you all right?
Yes, I'm here. Hi, everybody.
Good to see you. Thank you very much for coming and joining us, first of all. I do know Nico did reach out in that area. How are you feeling? How is everything?
Everything is good. We are impatient to play this game. We make this tournament to win it, and we try to do it. Until now, all is good for us, and we hope it still continues.
Good. one question from me before we delve into many other questions and asking you your road and journey to where you are now is, have you enjoyed the tournament so far as a team?
Yes, sure.
And any major highlights for you throughout the tournament? Anything that you thought, wow, this has really been a difference, or maybe any bad points or anything like that as well? I don't think there's been many bad points for any tournament, to be honest with you.
Bad points? I'm not sure to understand.
No.
Il demande s'il y a des points noirs dans le défi, quelque chose de négatif que tu aurais pu trouver dans un ou l'autre des tournois.
No, not in particular. We know with Bitro there is some surprise with the mechanics,
Yeah.
but it's okay for this tournament. Not a big surprise.
Yeah, there was a bug recently within the Bitro of some mechanics obviously going a lot more damage than what's supposed to be happening within the presented 10-15% area.
Yeah.
We were wondering if there was a change.
The last game.
Yeah, so I think that took quite a few teams by surprise, especially those teams that were still playing at the time as well, because obviously I know some matches had finished, but there were still some teams when that bug happened. And I know it did happen during the last rounds of SWC and HAT teams, so a little bit surprising when people's make calculations, especially towards the AI and pulling it out as well. How did you find that, Remi? Nico, feel free to translate, my friend.
Yes,
tu veux une trad? Ouais. Il parle du bug justement qui a modifié les impacts de jusqu'à 10-15%, cela, et il te demande comment est-ce que toi tu l'as ressenti, est-ce que ça t'a posé des problèmes sur les matchs,
we see that change, but not a big problem for us until now, because we have not difficult match until now.
Okay.
So, even with this change in certitude, it was fine for us.
Great. So I'm going to hand you over to the room realistically now. So open to our co-host here, which is Nico. Obviously, he's been speaking alongside me all night. We've got Pinguzad as well, if she'd like to ask some questions. And obviously, we've got Adam and Minster as well in the background. So it seems fitting. Go on then, Nico. You ask Remi a nice question.
Yeah.
Please do it in English as well, just so we all understand in the room, my friend. But if you do need to translate, feel free to do so.
Okay, let's go. So there weren't any tough fight for Nelva this tournament. All the opponents that Nelva had was either little new teams or team Nelva had already beaten before. So they knew them. They were accustomed to their way of fighting, and two of these teams were French teams. So it was something we're accustomed. But Remi, now we are facing the first team in the tournament, Liga Narodów. What are you feeling about this match particularly?
First, we are impatient to do it because we want a big match like that. And it's stressful because it will be hard. But we are ready and we prepare for it.
Yeah. We know it will be a hard-fought battle. It's almost a final for us. We've waiting for this. We were waiting for this.
Absolutely.
And, they beat Blitz. In the French server, Blitz and Nelva are considered to be same level teams. So one beat the other beat the one, same level. So when Liga is beating Blitz 2 times in a row, 1 year apart, obviously we cannot see them as an easy team or something we can beat without being a bit stressed.
Can I just change this up a little bit? And this is not to take anything away from LNZ, but are you guys? I'm gonna ask this to both of you. Are you guys a little bit disappointed that you're not playing Blitz? Because
question.
we all know the
Super
community loves
bad.
that.
A little bit, but we know the guy it was very strong, so we know it was
To be expected.
yes, un match indécis.
Ouais. Decisive battle.
And whatever the winner, the game for us will be hard. So we're just waiting to know the name.
Yeah.
Yeah, and don't worry, there is a French tournament in starting April 1st, and Blitz is on it, and Nelva is on it. So we will have our showdown in the French server. So don't worry about them.
Well, please do keep me updated with that, Nico.
Okay, no problem.
I'll be excited to see that one go down. So, I know you mentioned that you've spoken to you've played a couple of French teams, but just out of interest, how did the Ghost Company game go? I know you said it was relatively easy because you've known the French team and the community, but I know, this is quite, for me, Ghost Company is a very good, strong team. They're not a team that can just be brushed off easily. They've done very well to get to where they got to, and for me, they're a strong opponent. Obviously, Nelva's had plenty of games with Ghost Company before being in the French department. But yeah, has Ghost Company improved? Have they got better? Or how was it for you guys?
Tu veux répondre, Remi?
Yes, we have played Ghost last year in the final of French tournament, and it was a little more difficult than here because I think they was a little tired, and some of their player can't play the game. So it was more difficult to them to organize, I think.
Yeah.
And what about you, Nico?
They had a better level. That's for sure. Okay. It was an easy match last year. We won in 5 hours. They had a bad start, a bad plan, and a bad production. This year they had a great plan, a really good start, and economically they were there. Okay, with the basis of how you have to produce to be able to fight on the third day. So that was more a serious fight. Okay, we had a little sweat in the day 2 when we saw that our initial plan was not good, not suited at all for what they had prepared. So it was a little surprise on the second day, but obviously, as Remi says, they were coming from an hard-fought match and were tired.
Yeah,
I guess there is something with Nelva in the French community. It's difficult. There is a mental barrier, a glass roof. Beating Nelva is something in the French server is something that the player considered really difficult. We're not that great of a team, okay, competitively. We're in the best, but not the best. But in the French server, we have a long history. We were there when nobody was there, so obviously there is something.
Good. So, any questions from you, Adam? Any questions from you, Pingy?
No, I ain't got no questions.
Cool.
All right.
Neither do I.
Cool. So, I'm going to close out with one final question then. How are you guys excited to be playing LNZ? Are you ready for the challenge? Are you all refreshed? Are you ready to go?
Yes, we are.
Good. So it's lining up to be a good challenge ahead then. I'm definitely interested to see who comes out on this top because I would put LNZ right now towards the very top of the Polish ladder. Of course, up there with the Ronins and Battlecry as well. I think them three are definitely leading the Polish server side there. So congratulations to LNZ. Congratulations to both Nelva as well for lining up such a great semi-finals for us there. And thank you very much, Remi, for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Ouais. Merci, Remi. À plus tard.
Bye.
Great, so we are going to move on to I was going to move on to the Pride, but I do believe Evingley, are you ready to be brought in, my friend?
Yes, sure.
Great. So we're just going to jump
Yo.
back over towards the hat competition. Come away from the SWC for right now. Hope you're well. First of all, Evingley.
I'm okay, and
Good.
our team is more or less higher.
Good to hear, my friend.
Great.
So my first question, relatively similar to the last one as well. How have you found this tournament? Have you found it being full of surprises? Have you had good communication with the tournament? How have you found it as overall? Because I know HAT had a bit of controversy about it at the beginning, and a lot of the, let's say, bigger teams pulled out from it and went over to the SWC.
Yes, thank you. We are, we are fully prepared for the upcoming semi-finals and finals as well.
Mm-hmm.
We are confident in our abilities and maintain our strong fighting spirits.
Good.
Great.
That's great to
So
hear.
our proper preparation help us stay in a good emotional state.
Mm-hmm.
And also allowing us to effectively balance the game with our personal lives.
Great. Nico, you've got one there. That's lovely. That can you just let me download that, my friend? I'm just gonna make that look a lot nicer on my screen. Let me pull that up. That's lovely. That. Thank you very much, Nico.
No problem.
So yeah. Let's talk about some of the challenges before I hand you over to Nico, because I'm pretty sure Nico's got plenty of questions for you.
Oh yeah.
Let me ask you, who was the hardest you have faced this tournament so far?
Yeah, thank you for these questions. The toughest challenge we faced was again Team Kaizen in the first tournament. It took us 6 whole days to serve a victory over them.
Oh wow! So they've done strong against you then.
Yeah, you just imagine 6 a whole day without sleeping.
Wow!
I don't have to imagine. I just have to recall.
I really appreciate Team Kaizen for experience to improve.
Absolutely,
Alright.
yes.
All right. What were the countries you had on this match?
Actually, it's was in the first game or second. I don't remember. Sorry.
Okay, no problem.
So
And I'm really sorry about my straying forward regarding other opponents.
no, you're absolutely fine.
Unfortunately, the other opponents did not put up significant resistance, and we won those matches quickly.
I think that shows strength, maybe from yourselves to get that far and do so. And I think Kaizen has been a strong team, like I mentioned earlier on. They've now been in the competitive scene for 2 years. They are doing very well. Let me ask you the question on the Kaizen game. What did you find most difficult against them? I know you said it took 6 days, but what made them be that stronger team?
They have a very strong experience to manage the economy, and also they spend a lot of time during the day to predict our way to win.
Oh right, yeah. So they watched your movements and figured out your game plan.
Exactly.
Great strategist. Okay.
I don't want to spend.
That's the base of the game.
Yeah, the reason I don't want to speak too much about Kaizen, I'm trying to leave it to you a bit here, Nico, is because obviously we've played Kaizen as well recently, so I want to try to leave that aside for my little bit later on. So yeah,
but you could add some pretty good information.
Absolutely,
the guys.
I think you're absolutely right there, Evingley. I think They're a very strong team. We have now faced them twice. Luckily enough, as Livy, we played them last year's tournament and this year's tournament, and they've massively changed. They've really come on strong this year, and I think there was quite a shock, to be honest. I think a lot of people didn't really put such respect behind their name that they should be getting. Is my little inside just right there?
Yeah. I'm one of these people. I won't lie. I was not thinking Kaizen go this far.
Yeah, well, I think truly they deserved it.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, going back to Pride, how have you felt on the knockout stages so far then?
So, looking ahead,
Mm-hmm.
we expect our match against Birbambia
Yeah.
to be most difficult, I think.
Yes.
More than
because,
the Livy or the Order BiKu?
I'm talking about Birbambia.
Yeah, I think he's thinking his side just for now.
Yes, okay. One match at a time. Okay.
Yes, always.
Okay.
So you think this is going to be a hardest challenge?
Yes, because they are long-time rivals from the Rue server, and we are very familiar with their play style.
Interesting.
So most likely they will be present serious challenge for us.
Good.
Okay. Do you have the country sorted out yet?
Come again? Sorry.
Have you chosen your countries on this match already?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't believe it's available right now at the moment, Nico. It's not being made in the HAT server. Just as far as I'm aware, I think it is still just coloured off period from previous games, even though all teams are already progressed through and we already know the winners. But yeah, I think it's just time for a little bit of relaxation for some teams and getting ready for the next round.
But it's a very good question. Even I know, I wouldn't talk about this.
Nice, keeping the secrets close to your chest. I like that.
Yeah.
So if you do beat the Birbambia Kirgudu, who would you like to see in the final? Relatively good question. I know it's quite hard.
Yeah. Good one.
So very tricky question. May I speak a little bit about our goals?
Yes, absolutely.
Because our allies hopefully want to win this tournament.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
You're working toward that.
So from the start, our plan was to give players who had never participated in Alliance battle a chance to complete.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided mixed experienced players with newcomers. Turned out to be a great decision for us. And thanks to our proper preparation, we managed to defeat all our opponents in the past. This is our way to win, and beyond the players, our captain who played along with the team, and also consultants from the main alliance, Pride of Lions, made a significant contribution to our victory. I think this is a key to our success. So I'm grateful to everyone for their enthusiasm and dedication in every match. And overall, I hope the next championship or tournament, HAT or whatever, will be even more competitive and that our team will be continue to grow and improve our experience.
That's
Good.
nice.
Good,
Yeah,
good.
I,
So
I think mixing young people with experienced officers is the best way, in my opinion, to quickly improve the level of the young people. I totally understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's true. Thank you.
yeah, I
I
think
mean, it also
Thank you.
helps adding new people into it too, because
Yes, totally.
people get used to the old players, so they get used to their strategies. You throw some new guy in there, they're not gonna know what they're gonna do.
Yep, and they got energy to give.
Yeah,
Because they're not
less
tired, exhausted players.
and less predictable.
Yes, totally.
and I think
It's
that can be
great
said
that
very
they're
well
offering new things.
from Pride right now. I think unpredictable. I think that's a
Yep.
very good, strong word for you, Evingley. It's unpredictable. Who knows? You could definitely go on and win this. You've got a very strong team from what I've heard. Extremely well to reach the semi-finals, and I really do like the ambitions to go and win it and then go on to next year. If anything, that's exactly what Pride of Lions is all about. Not just the academy. That's pretty much lives in the name, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Continue to improve and progress like that.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, can you tell me one of your greatest achievements so far in this? What has been one of your proudest moments so far?
So as we're talking about achievement, yeah.
Yeah, is it something
I
to do
have-
within team, or is it to do with a certain match or anything like that?
Unfortunately, it's not about the HAT championship or tournament.
No, that's fine.
I have to say a few words of grateful for the marketing team of Bitro, because they improved those hero, and in the maybe 3 or 4 months ago, nobody likes hero. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I realize such a huge impact of this hero, because all maps, event maps or regular maps, are full of people who want to achievement a new goal for those heroes. You know what?
Yeah, just going off on that, I do believe there was another recent bug recently, overpowering one with the Maeve hero, and that has been hotfixed now. I do believe that has been all rectified by Bitro. So for me, I think Bitro is doing pretty well with fixing things recently, and I think that's what the community wanted in total, was a lot of things fixing. So in my opinion, well done Bitro in that area as well.
Yeah.
I got a question.
Let's go.
So, was the threat of heroes as big as people thought they were? Do you think that heroes ruined HAT? Or do you think that it made it more competitive?
I'm going to ask you to save that question for myself later.
Actually, a goddamn good question.
It's an excellent question, and I think for just a little bit of background here, Livy played a team that wanted to play heroes. They played heroes very well. Taught us some tricks or two. So I'd like to revisit that when I come on the stage to represent Livy rather than as a host, shall we say?
Can I ask
Evingley?
Pride of Lions too?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what's your opinion, Pride?
Are you talking about
So
could you please
remember
details your question, because I don't understand. Are you talking about the heroes in overall, or are you talking about the playing mechanics?
So at the beginning, when they first announced HAT, everybody was livid. I mean, they were not happy about heroes being in an event.
Yep.
So do you think that heroes ruined the event, or do you think that it made it better, made it more competitive and more
Okay.
interesting?
Yeah, I understand your question, mate. Since the heroes started, it's gone about 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
So the games are changed already. And I
You're
think,
right.
in my opinion, we have to improve our experience with a new challenge. So
Yeah.
if you think that the heroes is a new challenge, so deal with it. You have to struggle with this challenge as well.
Absolutely, yes.
Yes,
I agree with you.
You're right on this point. You're right on this point, and I think the community was not livid, as you said, because of the hero that, or because of the change in the game, but because it was imposed and it was not finished. It was not a polished heroes release that everybody
Well,
could have on the same level, and it was force feed to the community with not with the manner. So I guess now with the heroes, the experience, the modification they made to the heroes, it's quite a challenge. It may come in the competition in this model, but not 3 or 4 months ago. It was not the case.
Yeah, I agree on that sense. It was becoming more. As much as a lot of people know I represent BiKu in that instance as well, but I think I fully agree with Nico and majority of teams. It was just pushed out there onto tournaments, like in my opinion as well, should not have been pushed out onto the tournaments in that way. AT in this case, and then SWC went and made it its own destiny that it has done. I think that was a bad marketing area from maybe from community managers, from BiKu themselves, from who I don't think it's come from the community managers. I think it's come from higher up within BiKu than that. So just to push it out onto teams just like that, I think was a little bit too sudden, too raw, well, we don't know much, no one's got many, we've only just started playing situation. But I think for the teams that have partaked in the Heroes Alliance tournament and said, do you know what, let's give it a go, let's see how we go on. Fair play to them, because realistically they're the testing for the new maybe alliance going forward. Maybe we don't know what's going to happen next year. We don't know what's going to happen with SWC and HAT. Are they going to stay separate? No one knows just of yet. Many people would like to claim. Obviously, we've got people working within councils everywhere. But all I will say is have some patience with the community, because let's not forget these tournaments are community hosted, are community led by everyday normal people who just want the best. And I think we've all come to a realization that heroes are here to stay, and it's not the heroes that's the issue. The issue was it got pushed out at the wrong time on the wrong tournaments.
Yes, totally. We proposed official when they were pushed. We proposed to make a separate tournament to test the heroes fully.
And I think that's what realistically happened. I think
finally that's what we are doing. But do remember that even in the Heroes Alliance tournament, that's a tense question. Okay, some teams decided to play with the heroes and test them, and that's great. And thanks for them to have the cojones to do it. But when Boot Brigade used heroes, breaking the gentleman agreement.
That was always a risk,
backlash.
weren't it? Yes.
Okay, so it's touchy. It's really touchy. It's not the test heroes tournament we could have made on the side to please Bitro and to give feedbacks.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's a shame. The whole situation is it's a bit. Everybody is watching the other, saying, with the real tournaments, is the community divided? I don't think so. I think things will settle down, and maybe we will even have a match between the last 8 teams of each tournament. Could be. So I think the next year we will have one tournament, and we will adapt the rules to include what need to be included.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, Evingley, for coming along. And thank you very much to Pride of Alliance for coming out to speak to us. We really do appreciate you coming out, my friend.
Yeah, thanks, Evgeny.
Thank
And
you.
all the best to Pride of Alliance going forward, my friend, and all to the future tournaments as well.
Will do.
Thank you, and good luck, my friend, in the semis. Just a comment that caught my eye on the YouTube channel from Freedmoon, and I'd like to have your opinion on this as well, Nico and Adam, Pingy as well, if you don't mind chiming in. The comment says some heroes are strong enough to make other heroes basically useless. Really, what do you think?
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, I'd agree with that. I mean, every hero has another hero that counteracts itself, just about.
I think there's a big keyword in there: counteracts.
Except for Toga, that right now there's really not much that you can counteract Toga, but Toga most of the time kills itself anyway.
Okay.
when some people forgot that the zone where you are shooting the special power is killing your own troops, and they shoot their own vessel. So yeah, that's a shame. That's experience.
Exactly. What's your opinion then, Nico? What do you think?
Oh,
Do you
I
think some heroes are much stronger than others and rectifying
Of
them
course,
useless?
and they are basically designed that way. You have the basic heroes that can play along the other units of the game and counter themselves. You got the AC heroes. You got the Cav hero. Okay, that's simple. That's clever. That's easy mechanics. That's Kai Bo. You know, there's always something that beat other thing, and this thing is beaten by another thing. So that's good, but that's also a monetizing, not scheme, but a unit. So you have to pull out a hero that will beat the other and make him more expensive to buy, and that's because Bitro is not free to play game only. They need to make money, so they need to have something to appeal. So yes, you got hero that will crush everything, and I think we are all experienced enough to recognize that sort of hero that will break the mechanics and renders the other heroes useless, and just not allow them in the tournaments, at least until some other heroes come and can be the counter of the first one. Example with Togo.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. I'm gonna say I don't think there's one hero who really makes anyone useless. I think there's only one hero who is potentially not as good as the rest. And for me, the only one hero that's not good enough for the rest is the Hank. The original hero that we all
Hank
met.
alone.
I just don't think he's up to the other hero standards. And that's the only one that you can really rectify as useless. The others all have great uses. You've mentioned there yourself, Nico. You've got the Cav hero that can cause some crazy damage, and that's really going to benefit your really attacking teams. And then you've got the defensive ones as well, ones on the homeland as well with the ACs. I don't think any of them really counteract each other to make them useless. I think it all comes down to strategy rather than how it is useless. The only one for me, and this is just a personal opinion, that does not seem up to the rest, is poor boy Hank. And I know that'll upset a few people, but
hey, I like Hank, okay? Because it's not what it's it's not a hero for the rest of the game. It's a hero of day one. You got your infantry
Yeah.
fighting with him, and you throw the guy on the AI. He died, but you kill the AI, and you got time for your new hero on day 2, 3, 4. It's he's useful in a way. Okay, he got his usefulness in the first day. That's all.
Yeah, and this
But,
this
okay,
is what I'm saying.
he's
I'm
well under the other. He's well
And-
under the other.
This is where I'm really trying to get to. And when people say some heroes are effectively useless, I think they've all got their own individual traits where they come in and they've got something so just unique to them. Like you've just said, you can go crush AI early with Hank. With the defensive user, it's really good if you're going to attack somewhere else. You just really need to bolster that area. Or if you know a big, large enemy group's coming in because you've sighted it with a balloon, you can defend it up quicker and you can throw it in the forts. I think for me, it's not the heroes right now that's doing any damage. I think the couple of updates ago, the fort changes. I think that's more key to this to the meta right now rather than heroes.
I think Lawrence is the most underrated, and I thought that it was the game breaker because he give so much bonus, so much boost to the how do you say that, the swiftness of the army. 25%. Okay, I'm glad they corrected the hit and run, because 25% with the hit and run, awful. It would have been awful, but okay, all the army 25% faster. Man, that's terrible. In the early game, this guy is a tank.
Yes, you're very right, but you can't predict it.
Of course you can.
If we're talking about the news or changes, so in my opinion, all changes in it's some kind of obligation, and when the changes is come, it's time for using or finding a new bug. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
I think it's my opinion that how to predict a new bug in currency tournament. I do remember that Pride of Lions lost the win in 82, which was 2 years ago, due to dupe resource while you cancel the structure. You know, you build a structure, you cancel, and you receive
Yeah.
So in this case, the organization of tournament can predict and can't do impact on results. So in my opinion, less obligations which are already understand, but we should do obligation for the bug during the tournament.
I agree. So I'm going to just pull us back onto tonight's theme again, guys. We are going to go move over, and I know we have got one special guest in here who has been waiting very patiently to speak and have his turn. And I'd like to welcome Tehluny to the chat. Hello, Tehluny, mate. How are you? I'm hoping he hasn't fallen asleep and he's still around.
Yeah. There?
Tehluny.
Let's ping him.
Yeah, let's give him a quick little ping. He may have gone for a drink or anything. Don't know if he's realised his mic's muted.
Yes,
here he
here.
is. He's
I
here.
had my windows open. I had
How
my
are you?
windows open.
How are you, my friend?
Very good, very good. How are you guys?
Yeah, we're good. Thank you very much.
Nice.
So, Order of BiKu. Are you enjoying it so far? How's the tournament going in the hat for you guys?
I guess it's all good. Better than we expected. We were like one of the few teams to join the tournament despite the problems and realizing how much problems it could have.
Mm-hmm.
But everything is going smoothly so far, and much respect to all the teams we played against. Everybody has been very fair. So I guess the community is really like understanding the importance of fair play and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, yeah, so far it's been really smooth running tournament.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear, my friend. So I'm going to open it up with a question straight away for you. With
Yeah,
the
sure.
games that you've played so far, what has been BiKu's biggest challenge?
That's a difficult one, actually. I think the games were pretty equal, unless the last one against the Sons of Odin, because it was also something new that we have been testing in private maps. And we were not 100% sure of how it would work against a better team.
Mm-hmm.
So it was more like a test opportunity for us to figure out if this exact build order for the exact draft line was good. But it works. So we managed to win in 2.5 days. Like the goal was to secure a win in like 3.5 days. So I guess it's good. It
Good.
worked. It was the toughest game in terms of team coordination and what enemy might do and stuff. So I was at least pretty nervous about that as a captain.
Was against who, sorry?
I was against Sons of Odin.
Oh, okay, yeah,
the
yeah.
Final game.
Yeah, so that was my dark horse of the tournament. I backed them very early on. I think they've got a very good,
Yes,
strong
yes.
team. They're
You
definitely
were their first
one of their first fans, I would say.
yeah. I was not even talking about them, and you were pointing at them, saying they will go far, and they did.
Yeah.
You were right.
I've got a lot of respect for a lot of their members. I think they've done really well. And just much like yourselves from Order BiKu, storming onto the scene. I think they're a couple of years behind you guys. But yeah, I think even the game that you've just said, they stood toe to toe with you guys. They tried their best. Obviously, you guys come out on top and showed your strength in that area. But it was an interesting match and lineup to see as well. And I think that really would have gave Sons of Odin a real good test towards you two.
We had also like a background because the month before we also played against Warriors of Valhalla in OGSS.
Yep.
So that game took us like 16 or 17 days.
Wow.
And we were very much surprised of how good actually Warriors of Valhalla are. So we knew their academy is going to be almost at the same level.
Absolutely.
And we were kind of nervous before the game. At least I was.
So you've got Livy in the next round then. How are you feeling about that? I know you played him in the group game.
I think the Livy now is much stronger than the Livy we faced the first game of the tournament because I think Livy grew in the tournament. From my experience, I'm following also other competitive games and stuff. There are like two teams that can win the trophy. In the end, it's the team that is like one type is a war machine. Nobody is able to beat them because they're just better than anyone else on every aspect of the game. And then you have teams that grew up in tournaments, become better and better, and gain confidence. So we are not thinking about beating Livy is going to be easy. We're going to prepare our best to try and defeat them again.
Good,
You're
yes.
Right. You're right. I got a question for you, Tehluny. How the war fatigue?
We actually do pay a lot of attention to that. well, I have to sort of sort it out because I'm a team's captain, and I have
Yeah.
to think about how not to get my people too tired. Because I also remember what happened with Nelva last season. So we
Yes.
wanted to avoid that, and we found a solution actually because we are running also 2 tournaments at a time now. We invited players to guest play for us from other clans, the ones that are not busy with competitive now, from Rus server, from Strategist and from B7. So we invited 3 extra players to play in the JSS, and we
Okay.
also got someone from Academy to, yeah, to just
Okay, so
adapt to our.
mercenaries. That's okay. That's
Well,
allowed. That's allowed.
it's well, it's a normal thing actually in esports when teams that do not have solid roster or stable roster that they do invite people from other clans that are actually are now on a break. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yes. Totally. Yeah. In the French server, when we do it, we tend to change the name of the team to represent the players that are working together. But we invited some players from Les Mercenaires, you know the team, and this
Yeah.
is they fought with in one of our match in SWC for Nelva Academy. So I totally understand what you're talking about.
I think what our community has not seen yet is the, well, basically you call them Smurfs, and it's when an existing team forms a new tag to play there for one particular tournament, and this is done for several reasons. When you don't have all the core players and you take too many guests, you might not have the same chemistry within the team and not be the same strong, but you still want to play, but you don't want to
Yeah.
lose your ranking. So you create a new
Fear,
tag and you
to
play
lose
there.
Elo.
Yes, it's everywhere. In every competitive game I've played, it has been like that, and I knew we also did that. So it's something yet that Supremacy has to see, I think.
Yeah, I haven't witnessed it in something like 10 years, but I've witnessed some teams created right for a tournament with some players, so not trying to play with the elo or safeguard the elo, but we've had a team like that in the French tournament 2 years ago. They were called the elo farmer, and they lost. But
Can I just go back on
understand
a comment there from you, Tehluny? You mentioned esports in that, and I'm a big advocate in esports, and it's something I'd love, and I know it's probably never going to happen, but for BiKu to push towards a little bit on the esports. What's your opinion on maybe these kind of tournaments becoming an esport, maybe in that area, if you know what I mean?
Could you like elaborate more? Like you're looking for
Do you
what
think
exactly?
Do you think it would ever become an actual official esports game, or do you think it could be made into that way? Obviously, we know we've got the tournaments and the standards of esports, but it's not really it's not broke through into that kind of environment just yet.
Well, there are like 3 prerequisites, or how would I say, 3 things that needs to be done for Supremacy to become an esport eventually. First of all, the basic problem is the game length. It's too long for esport. Esport players, they can practice a lot during the day, and then they can basically play like 10, 20 matches a day, which is not the case with Supremacy. So you would need to run Supremacy on speed above 430 to match that. So you can have matches of like 1 hour or 30 minutes.
Have you tried the 144 times speed games just
Yeah.
yet?
I was going to ask.
Yes.
No, but it's still too slow to be an esport.
It's goddamn too fast. It's really hard to
well,
manage. Really hard to manage.
I'm an ex-StarCrafter player, so and I also was StarCraft 2. I was top hundreds of Europe server, so it's totally different speed. And there, what I was going to talk about that too, because the other thing that is need to be done to Supremacy is to add short keys for fast speed, because
Yes,
Supremacy does
yes.
not have enough short keys.
Yes.
Because APM is a very decisive. APM is action per minute, and it's very
Yep.
decisive factor in esports strategies.
Totally. All right. Yeah, I was going.
Sorry,
there.
may I ask a question to my competitors?
Absolutely.
You told about you invite newcomers from another allies. Did you invite him for only for currency tournament?
No, we invited them for the OGSS tournaments before the tournament started, when we had to fill our roster. So we only play HAT with our current roster from Order, and we play OGSS with 3 guests.
Thanks.
Cool. Just as we have got still quite a few people in here, I'm more than happy for people to ask other questions. But of course, game plans, etc., not gonna get revealed. So please, it is no point in asking that, because that's not gonna happen in any case. Obviously, I'm from Livy. We've got Tehluny from Order BiKu. It would be pretty pointless for me to sit here with Tehluny tonight and say, okay, this is what we're gonna do and this is what you're gonna do. But I think it's always nice to be able to have that chat between two teams and just be open and honest with it, because at the end of the day, we're all part of the community, and we're all realistically friends. We all work hard to get to where we get, and I just think for tonight's purpose, for me, it's good to give these teams a bit of spotlight and a bit of recognition.
Yes,
That's
right.
true. There is one thing, however, I wanted to add. Going back to the previous question of what it takes to make Supremacy an esport.
Yes.
Currently, if you compare Supremacy to other strategies, we have too few units and too few buildings to allow for a very broad range of strategies. And there is also one issue which is very bad for the game, I think, is the ability to see how many buildings are on the map for the enemy, because scouting is also a very essential key factor in any esports strategy game. And right now you're just giving that. You're giving like all the information about
Not
opponent
all
build
the
order.
information, but you're right. Yeah. Do you remember some years ago you had in clear the buildings of every province? Where are you playing? 4 years ago.
I'm playing from 2020, but I don't remember that.
Okay, we had all buildings unclear on the map everywhere.
Yeah, well, right now you can like do fakes and stuff,
Guess.
but they're still
You can
very
guess.
readable. Yes.
Yes. Some teams make 1 PV buildings to mess up with this a bit.
Yeah, that's what I call
but you're right.
fakes, but
You're right.
they're readable. I think
Yes, of course.
they need, and well, at least we need to ask Bitro as players to remove the fog of war possibility to view the buildings at all. I think that would be good for the games.
Yeah, not bad at least, not bad at least. But right now I think they have other priorities. But yeah, you're right. It could add some sort of usefulness for the information spies.
Can I just move on to one thing with Tehluny? Tehluny, I've wanted to ask you this question for a little while now. I've kept it for on stream, and it's something I'm recognising more within the community, and it's a good thing, and I'm one for certain very appreciative of it. And I hope more and more go this way. But my question is to you is why are you supporting other teams and helping other teams so much?
I think it's good for the community and for the the biggest problem is still the same. The game takes too long, so you cannot have 10 games per day to have a quick learn pattern, and you also cannot observe other games because observing mode for most esports or the streams is the source of how players actually learn the game. So the learning curve in Supremacy is extremely long. And I think it's beneficial for the community and for the level of playing and making the level of playing interesting and competitive, really competitive. It's to share like the info that you think is should be known to everyone.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
absolutely right.
I'm gonna just again, sorry, Nico, for jumping in here, but I'm gonna give a huge shout out to the Rust community in this. This includes Pride of Lions, Birbambia Kirgudu, and Order BiKu, and many other Rush server teams out there. I think they are, as we mentioned earlier, one of the leading teams in the top 4, like I mentioned earlier, within the other servers. But I think what's really standing out from the Rust teams for me right now is that they're sharing and helping other teams. And I'm not saying that the French don't do this. I'm not saying that the Spanish don't do this, or the Italians, or anybody else, or the Polish, because they do. But I think the Rust is definitely up there with leading this and actually helping other members of the community out there. And I, for one, take my hat off to you guys and say thank you very much. And again, it's nothing against Nico from Nelva, because I know you're always out there willing to help other people, Nico. But I just think as a general, Tehluny, Order BiKu, I don't know, Pride of Lions have definitely been going out there and helping people. Pers is quite a notable one. And I think it's just nice to see from the community, and I think it's really nice to see that. Again, not just the Rust teams, because like I just said, Nico, you're definitely one of them people, and I know it, and I think it really shines through. Where I'm going to just circle back to his teams coming back to like Kaizen, picking up these points, making themselves better, coming further into these tournaments, as we could say. Same for our Italian teams as well. Icadetti getting up there as well, really strong team this year. If it wasn't for these teams, like Tehluny just said, giving that information back to community, I think it wouldn't be as competitive as it is now. So
Yeah.
my hat's off to absolutely every team that does do that, and I don't think some people realise how much of a ripple effect that has going down. You could call some sort of ladder. Obviously, teams are somewhat ranked within the community and within Bitro, but I think it's good to have that information fed back through between friends, between the community, and I think it just makes a much more enjoyable tournament when it is a lot more challenging than just a lot easy games and dominating things, which everyone, don't get me wrong, wants to win, but I think everybody also wants to be competitive at the same time.
Yeah, that's why we are all here. And you know that's exactly the point why last year I was giving away the industrial secrets of the bug mechanics. You know, I had some people thanking me for that, and some people insulting me for that, because some teams believed that the bugs were a sacred secret, you know, and you had to be smarter and to deserve to find it yourself. But I was thinking something else, you know, like if everybody got a sword, you can improve your sword techniques. If you are the only one with a sword and everybody got just their bare hands, you're not the best. You just got a sword.
Yes,
and
exactly.
Competition.
And I think it's nice to share that knowledge and that, like you've just mentioned, that sword around and people make themselves better. Like you've said, the Nelva's had somewhat of a nice journey towards their where they are now in the semis. But again, like you've just said earlier, and I picked up on the question of what was the difference this year with Ghost Company. Ghost Company is obviously taken away from last year. The information that you guys were mentioning out. And you've said yourselves, Remi said that they've come back stronger. You've still won. You've still put your knowledge to the test, and they've gave you a bigger strength and test. But I think it's good for people like Nelva to come through them tests and show their team cohesion, and it's good for Ghost Company to also be improving. So a big pat on the back from the community and everybody who does get involved with that. And the negative comments, I think you're always going to get some from every angle, but ultimately, I think it's making the server and the community much better.
Yeah, you're right. We all agree with that.
So-
There's one point there.
A big
I
cheers
want
to you, Tehluny, by the way, because I
Yes,
know you are one of the main people around the community, and then I just want to put this out personally to you and say thank you from not just from me, but on behalf of the whole community as well for actually sharing this knowledge around. And Nico, same resilience from like you last year as well. Sharing that knowledge around. I think it does take some guts from people to actually say, do you know what, I'll tell you. And help, and I think that does help many teams grow and become better as a team and give you that more challenge. So, Tehluny, thank you very much, my friend.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well,
and
I
for
cannot.
the little team, sorry, I'll just end with that. For the little team, you think this competition, because like you said, the length of the match is too great. One defeat can break a team. So you have to get used to lose. Okay, competition is not only winning the matches and winning easy matches. Sometimes losing is better for you, and you learn so much from defeat. So don't be afraid of the defeat. Don't be afraid to test, to lose, and fight, and go on to fight great teams. Okay, play with the best, and you'll become one of the best too.
That is
Yeah,
true.
that's
That is
true.
true. Yeah, I've seen. I've been playing in another game at a very good level as well, like top 20 team in the world, and it was years ago. It was like 15 years ago, but I've also had notable experience about how teams can disband over a lose or over not going far enough in the tournament. And I think, in my opinion, it comes because teams set for them the standard, and when they don't reach it, they are disappointed too much. And this
Yes.
disappointment leads the people think that others are not good enough to play with, so people quit their team to play with someone else and stuff. I've seen that a lot, and it also comes from a big ego when people think they're too good and stuff. Sometimes it is true, sometimes it is not, but I've seen a lot of this, and
Yes.
I think it's really important to like keep the team spirit, cheer each other up, and just don't give up. When you lose, you learn something. Just like what Nico said, you learn a lot more from losses than you learn from wins. So just don't give up. Play the game. We are here for fun. It's not like we are playing games of 1 million prize
Yeah.
money.
Yes, you're right.
And I also wanted to add one thing to what Binnsy said about giving the feedback to community and sharing stuff. Well, I know it's gonna sound a bit controversial because there is very big hate towards Boot and Buddha especially. But well, maybe some people don't know, but I'm actually the ex-Booter. This was the first alliance I ever joined in Supremacy, and they also put a lot of effort to teach me a lot of things. And at the same time, it was 2020. It was also almost the only open source of people sharing their knowledge on the forums. So I'm very grateful to them for doing that, teaching other players and inspiring them to become better.
Yeah, I don't think Boot Brigade no longer gets that kind of issue anymore. I think with Boot Brigade, they're very well known for sharing, as you could say, industry secrets. And I think that actually gave Boot Brigade a really good name. Obviously, there was a one time where there was called Bug Brigade, just by funniness. But at the end of the day, I think, and I will hand this to all of Bug Brigade members, especially around that era as well. They always did reveal the industry secrets. They always did tell other people. They didn't really keep it under lock and key. They could have, but they didn't. So yeah, they're also big advocates of sharing knowledge and passing information on. As well, but I just think sometimes Boot Brigade, with a few controversial members in there, can become a little bit heated sometimes. I think that's where.
Yeah, but time and people changes. So
Absolutely.
Brigade was seen as one of the top team of this game in 2020, and what they are judged for now is what they've done. They were a good team with good people some years ago, and now not as much. Okay.
I still think they've got some good reputation. I just think some of their highly competitive players have sat in retirement now. Whether they come back out of retirement or whether they're just happy to just sit and just play some relaxing games.
Could change again. Okay?
Absolutely. But yeah, people like Hastings, definitely one of the higher end members of Boot Brigade and one of the founders, full of knowledge, full of experience. And I know if you catch Hastings on a great day, he'll reveal anything to you that you need to know.
Yeah.
As much as Hastings has his controversials with Bytro, in the end of the day, he loves the community and he's always there for the community. So fair play to people like Hastings. Buddha as well, as much as Buddha likes to go on a little rant and so often, I still think he's there for the community. He's just his hatred towards Bytro themselves. But hey, that's down to them. I think Buddha maybe not as much as Hastings, but I do think the knowledge is definitely there. They've got the game knowledge, and you got to respect the name.
You can just summarize the complexity of one human being just looking at one of his aspects.
Absolutely.
So, the same for his team.
Absolutely. So I'm going to move on right now. Thank you very much, Tehluny, for joining us, my friend. I know you sat there patiently. More than welcome to join in the rest of the conversation for the night. I am still waiting for a couple of us to join, so I think I want to do it, Nico. I think I'm going to take centre stage for Livy right now. Yes. Obviously, I did try and get the famous Dutch King or Fraser Queen to come and join us tonight. They are away on their holidays, enjoying their weekend away. I wish them all the very best in the weekend away and hope they have many laughs. So I was asked to fill in at this stage because we got a few shy members as well. So
okay, so let's go, Binny. You got Tehluny right in front of you.
Yes.
Nice guy, one of the best of the community. So, what are you thinking about this match?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty nervous for this match. We played them in the group stage, and to be quite honest with you, I think it was our hardest game. And I think Tehluny summed it up pretty good for us. We was not ready. We was ill prepared. We didn't have many alliance matches before this. We didn't really prepare for this kind of tournament. We just thought, let's go and have some fun. And then straight away we was met with the Order BiKu, and wow, they blew us away. I think it was a bit of negligence on our part for not really putting a lot of effort into it. And then fair play to Tehluny and his team. They woke us up and said, you know what, we need to start taking this a little bit more seriously. We need to actually think about our game plan and actually, if we want to go far in this and do well, because the last few years now, Livy, as much as many people do regard as a high team, is a little known fact as far as I'm aware has been Livy for the last few years. We've got knocked out on the first knockout stage, so this is the furthest that we've gone. Admittedly, and this is no insult to any team in there. 9 times out of 10, we have come up against a lot bigger names than what we've may have seen this time round, and that's no offence to anyone that is in the knockout stages right now, or especially in the semi-finals. That's definitely hotting up. This is the kind of names that we're used to playing. in like the last 16 kind of area realistically. But yeah, so we're really proud of our achievement to realistically lose one of our first. I think it was the first game, if I'm not wrong, Tehluny. Was the first game of the group stage, so we had to really fight to come from behind for that and progress.
In fact, the first match against the Order BiKu was a wake-up call for you.
Yes, big time. It was.
Okay.
It was hello and welcome and smell the bacon situation. You're in HAT. Welcome to not so as we thought was just going to be a bit of a fun game. We've then.
Yes, there was a strange feeling about this tournament because all the great names and the best scene team were going to the SWC, and so this one was a bit. We didn't know what to expect from the team.
Exactly,
on that. But oh boy, you met Order BiKu.
Yeah, exactly. We had many times of thinking, should we go to SWC rather than HAT? Should we? We had many of internal discussions about this.
Yeah.
And at one stage we had our names written in SWC. Thank you very much, Sanczi.
Yes.
We was pretty much foot in the door, ready to go and play. And then we said, do you know what? We're going to go play HAT this year. We're going to give it a run with the hero situation. We didn't want to disrespect AT in any way. We didn't want to disrespect SWC in any way. Many other teams out there, both feeling the same. It was more for, let's stay with HAT. Let's see how it goes. Let's see the situation over here, because we obviously didn't want it to be a flop either. So we wanted to leave. And I do regard Livy as one of the top teams, in my opinion, and with around supremacy. If someone says Livy, the name is well known out there.
Yes, it is.
So I think it was nice to also leave a couple of big names in here as well. Obviously, we still got big names in the end. I think for me, the big names have shone through and come through to the semi-finals. Obviously, there's a couple of shocks as well that's maybe gone out as well. Bartolone Wolf, quite a big name within the Italian server. Bohemians, another big name within the server. Boot Brigade, everyone well known. So yeah, there's still some big names in there. Obviously, are they as big as SWC?
Sorry, Binnsy. What was the turning point for you to choose HAT over SWC?
So
the fact that you wanted to stay true to AT.
Within our turning point was hopefully many people see this, but within Livy we're quite kind and heart-souled individuals. We are obviously ruled by the infamous Phrasen Queen. She's got a heart of gold, and many people within the community would agree with this. So we decided to stick with HAT and go with the gentleman's agreement, as many people know. And play it that way, and we really wanted to just test the rest of the community, see if they would stick to that gentleman's agreement. Now we know it's happening in SWC, but we wanted to see if it would happen within HAT. So rather than playing both and not paying much attention to HAT, which admittedly we did in the first game, we decided to stay with HAT and say, let's give it down to the community and see what happens.
All right. It was a difficult choice.
Absolutely,
because
yes.
this was the fracture of the competitive community. It was a difficult time for everyone. The spirit was a bit down. But I guess now with the results of the HAT and the fact that most team respected the gentleman agreement, and the one team that didn't was smacked for it, I think it's making the community coming together around both tournaments a bit more than 3 months ago. So I think it's good that some teams stay there and fought and show that even if we didn't agree on the way to treat the diktat of Bitro, I think it was good to show that we were still one community. We can talk together and we play together can share and grow together. So I'm glad some of you stayed.
Absolutely. And you mentioned the one team that got slapped for it. Genuinely, without a full tournament, one team making that one mistake, I think it's run pretty well. We didn't have much to do with it. It was nothing really to do with our side of things. It wasn't within our game. Obviously, I do feel sorry for Nocturna, but other than that, I think it's gone pretty well. The rest of the other teams have really respected it, and like we said, there's many newer teams in there who's not played at this competitive level, and they've respected it as well. So that just goes and shows that the kind of name that not just HAT SWC also carries for themselves. So well done to the organisers in that opinion from myself as well, and well done to all the teams that have absolutely stuck by the gentleman's agreement or made it clear that they wanted to play with heroes from the beginning.
Yeah. It's still a competition. Okay, it's not just a competition of has-been team that wanted to take an easy prize against newer team, and these newer team knowing nothing about what's competitive level. That's not the case, and thanks to the four last team that you see on this matches we are going to play. We can now see that there is a competitive level, a serious competitive level, the HAT, and that's great, I think.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's run really well. Both SWC and HAT's both been run really well, and I think the community's pulled together in the end and said, no matter what you throw at us, we will always come out on top. And that's shone through in both areas. I would just like to mention one game that we did play after that, and it is Kaizen game. Going back to the Kaizen game.
Yes. You've talked about it earlier, so now let's talk a little bit more.
Absolutely. So we played Kaizen. We played with heroes in that game. This was not a break of gentleman's agreement. Just let me make that very clear. Kaizen did say at the beginning of the game, look, we would like to play with heroes because they're coming in. And do you know what, to Kaizen and their leadership, they was fully upfront about it. They turned around and said, was it Kaizen? I'm pretty sure it was Kaizen. And turned around and said, look, we don't have the best heroes ever. We just have normal heroes. We just want to play with them and have fun. So fair play to them for doing so. And admittedly, we went into the game. They didn't. Was it? I'm trying to remember if it was Spartan or Kaizen that we played with heroes from. I'll double check that fact in a minute. But it was either one of the two teams.
Yeah. Wasn't it Spartan?
It might have been Spartan. I can just double check it.
Yeah. I can
but yeah, I can't remember if it was Kaizen or. Let me just double check.
Was it in the knockouts?
Yes, it was in the knockouts.
All right.
Absolutely. So
let's see that. Burton.
Just want to make sure, because I want to give a good shout out to them, to be honest with you.
Okay, Frisian King.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was with Spartan 300. So I do apologise. It wasn't Kaizen. It was Spartan 300. We played against Spartan within that game, and they straight away, their leader, Forsaken Jedi, turned around and said, we want to play with heroes. We don't have the best heroes. We just want to have fun within the tournament, and that's how we want to play. And do you know what? It was a really nice approach from Forsaken. He laid it out really well. He openly turned around and said, we don't have 5-star heroes throughout the board. We've just generally leveled them up as they go along within normal matches, and it was nice to see. So we agreed. We said, okay, we play with heroes then. That's the agreement. No one's broken a gentleman agreement. We didn't go crying about it. They didn't cry about it. It was really nice to see. And I know for one, it wasn't their first game with heroes. They played previous games with heroes with other teams, and we'd never heard any backlash from it.
So how was it?
It was a good game. It was a good game. It was different. They'd obviously played with them before, so they had a little bit more experience than what we did with them. We did come out trumps, obviously, to progress, but It definitely gave us an insight on how the games are going to go, and it brings me back to the chat situation earlier. Are they unbalanced? I think what you've got to remember is this isn't a public game. This isn't a game that's going to go on for 90 days. This isn't a game that's going to be played against just some random people suiciding heroes. This isn't a situation like that. The HAT rules is pretty simple. You can only deploy one hero once. You can only deploy up to 5 heroes per game. That's it. I think it's pretty strict hero allowances, which is really good, and it really does make you think a different strategy, because it makes you think, okay, who are we going to deploy and when are we going to deploy? And I think that's a real head scratcher, because when you've not played with them, you've got to really think about when it's going to happen and what point, and why do you want that hero over a different hero? Because obviously
on which country, on which
exactly,
state.
yes.
Yeah.
There's so much more to
now, and you have to understand that they are pretty expensive. They eat up your resources. Okay, they are not free to maintain on the map indefinitely.
Exactly.
So you have to count it at a TC, and you have to use them to the most of their capacities. So that's I agree that the heroes can be a great plus on the technical and strategic level tournaments. Okay, but the problem is we need to find a way to have the same levels, same heroes available for everyone to be able to consider it.
See, they had
You know?
they had other heroes which was better than ours, and we had a couple of heroes which was better than theirs. Different type of heroes. And do you know what, Nico?
We can work out rules about not about store differences, level differences. You know,
I don't
have one store difference or one hero difference. We can play with some differences, but it's better when everyone got the same chances.
Absolutely, yeah, I agree. It's nice for everyone to have the exact same chances, but and it's something I really did take away from this is heroes look on the game much scarier than they actually are, because I don't think the game changes. Yes, it brings a new strategy. Yes, it brings a new way of thinking, but are they actually game changers? Maybe if used correctly,
I think so.
maybe. Maybe if they're used correctly, but if incorrectly, which
of course,
Spartan,
talking about the best team of this game. Of course,
absolutely,
you know that they will gonna use the heroes correctly, and they're gonna reach the farthest extent of the hero use as they did with every other units.
absolutely. And what I can say from my gaming experience, in that game against Spartan, I played as the United Kingdom, England, and I didn't build a single thing that game. All I had was genuine infantry from natural spawn, and I was defending England against Sweden a lot. Who had Togo, who had other heroes coming at me. And all I had was the standard heroes that I could deploy, and I held off on almost the whole 19 days without any armoured cars, without any cavalry, without any other mechs, and I still held off for 18 solid days. Only on the 19th day, on the last day, is when they landed in the UK with quite an overwhelming force, but by that time I had a little ace up my sleeve, and I'd moved the capital just in time, so we never even gained the capital.
Nice.
I think I'm really proud of that play. Really proud of my team for that play as well, because we organised it, so it was really nice. But I think the ultimate thing that came out of it is for a good 10 days or so, or roughly 10 days, I had Togo shooting at me left, right, and centre. But
okay, wasn't that tiring, exhausting?
Yes, it took some time. I was definitely having to stay up absolutely crazy hours and wake and set alarms, of course, like we do anyway, but it made it fun. Made it exciting, believe it or not, Nico. It made it a different challenge. and I quite enjoyed it. I found myself testing against Spartan in a different kind of way, where almost I wasn't playing with heroes and they was, but yet for 18 days I stood strong on my own without losing, and I think that without that we could have lost that game.
Yeah, I'm sure of that. You can be proud of yourself for the night.
Oh no,
you
no.
have given to your team.
No, I think that also comes down to the team as well. That's not just on me. That's, yeah, maybe I am the one who's controlling it behind the screen, but ultimately we all know 5v5 tournaments is a whole team game. It's not.
Yes.
No individual can be thanked for that. That's just. If anyone ever said that I was just an individual won that game, I'd be like, you're ludicrous. It's a whole team game regardless what's happened. It doesn't matter if one person's got everything and all the other four's got nothing, or you've shared it all out. End of the day, it's still a team tournament. You've got to come up with an agreement of tactics. So
Yeah, totally.
but yeah, fair play to Spartan 300 for that game, and it was refreshing and something different. Absolutely.
Yes, I understand what you're talking about. I have fought in the community server an Italian team on the map, and I had no Togo, and I was sworn with Togo heroes, and I used the light cruiser, the submarines in ways I never experienced before. So that was a new way to play the game, and that was interesting. In fact, a bit tense but interesting. So I understand what you felt.
Yeah, it's definitely a different way of playing, I think, but it's really nice and it's really different. So shout out to Spartans for that.
Do you think that in the last matches and the final matches, do you think that heroes will be played?
In truth, obviously I can't speak on Tehluny's behalf, and I can't obviously we take one game at a time, so we don't even think about the final until we've played BiKu and obviously got the outcome from that. But always one step at a time with us. But I don't think Tehluny, just from the group game, will be wanting to play with heroes, and I'm gonna say we're probably on the same stance with that. We're gonna.
Probably not. No.
Yeah, as for the gentleman's agreement, again, I think we both can pretty much disclose that pretty much right now.
Yeah,
So
sure.
that's not really giving away any tactics. That's just saying we're probably going to obviously have a gentleman's agreement before the game and say, look, do you want to just play as normal? I can see that happening. I can't speak on Evingley's behalf for Pride of Lions or Birbambia either. What they do is what they do. Obviously, Vlad's joined us, so I don't know if they've been playing with heroes, if they've not been playing with heroes again. But 9 times out of 10, I think, in fact, 10 times out of 10, Livy is going to say, yeah, let's go for the gentleman's agreement that we originally came here for. So, yeah, we're going to be offering that gentleman's agreement to Tehluny and his team again, and I'm pretty sure, like he's just said, he's probably going to say, yeah, let's do the same.
Yeah, that's sure, mate.
Yeah, I think this year's tournaments at least was all organised without heroes in mind, and I think that's how we've all set up in the back of our minds. And again, that's no hatred towards Spartan. We played it, we enjoyed it, but we're sticking with the no hero aspect in our opinion.
Okay, thank you, Binnsy. Thank you for your answers. Okay, did anybody else want to question Binnsy? Bingu?
No, I think we're good on that. I know we have Vlad just popped in.
Yes, we got Vlad. Bingu,
Yeah.
anything to say?
Nope. I'm happy to move on to Vlad.
Okay, let's go then.
Hello, Vlad. How are you, my friend?
Let me tag him in Telegram. Oh, he's there.
Yeah.
He's
Great,
here.
I'm fucking the-
Good to hear. Nice for you to join us.
I am from Ukraine.
Oh, very nice.
27 years.
Okay.
My old. Віталік, давай вони будуть задавати вопроси, ти мені передаєш, ти мені переводиш, а я и ответ мой будешь им переводить. Так будет лучше всего, да?
Okay, хорошо. Okay, so Vlad asked for you to pose questions, and then I will translate it to him, and then translate back the answers.
Absolutely. And Evingley, I know you're still in here, my friend. I know Tehluny said he can give his best at translating, but if you don't mind as well, just helping out Vlad a little bit, because his mother tongue is not English as well. I would appreciate that, my friend. So let's start. How has your games gone so far? Have you enjoyed the tournament? You found it successful so far?
Как у тебя вообще мнение об играх в турнире? Тебе понравилось? Как все происходило? И, вообще, как ощущение от турнира?
Скажи, что готовился к этому турниру целый год.
Well, he basically said he was looking forward to it and preparing for it a whole year.
Mm-hmm. Good.
So, yeah.
Good.
That's it.
Собирал команду.
So they've enjoyed it. That's
Yeah,
good.
he was. Yeah, well, he was preparing the team as well.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. So just leads nicely on to my next question before I let Nico go absolutely crazy again. Who is there? Who has been their hardest team they have faced so far?
Скажи, что еще специально выходные брал, чтобы играть вот эти карты.
Хорошо. Так, вопрос такой. Какая самая сложная у вас катка была?
Конечно, против Nelva Academy. With Nelva Academy.
Yeah, I think we can pick that one up, yes.
Hard to hear that. And
it's good team.
Thank you.
Strong team.
Скажи, что еще деньги должны за выходные.
Да.
Yeah, well, Vlad said tournament organizers owe him money because he took holidays to play the HAT, actually.
Oh, that was well thought.
I think the organisers are going to have to say no on that expense right there, because I don't think there's much money in the pot for them to be able to give out for holiday allowance.
Yeah.
And if they are, please hit me up, because I would like some of that money as well. Nico,
Yes?
have you got any questions for the infamous Vlad and Birbambia?
Yeah. I got some questions. But my first question was about the match against Nelva Academy. I didn't follow all the match because, of course, it would have been a bit imbalanced, in my opinion. But I understood that it was almost a second away to win. So I want you to explain to me how you saw the battle near near Trieste. You know,
Okay.
Venice, Trieste.
Окей, Влад, такой вопрос. В матче против Нальвы Нико, он не за всей игрой следил, он чуть-чуть следил, но есть у него интересный вопрос, потому что у них было мнение, у команды, что они буквально в секунде от победы, и оказалось, что не так. И многое, что решило, это замес около Триеста и Вены. В чем там была разница, почему вы победили? Как вы на это смотрели, на эту ситуацию?
Блин. Ты помнишь? Нужно вспомнить. Нет, скажи, уже не помним. Да вроде бы...
Э,
Не, скажи что-то умное. Не
Да.
говори, не помню. Скажи что-то умное.
Э, Скажи, там смотрели в калькуляторе, подсматривали в калькуляторе
Но,
результаты.
насколько я помню, вы их там забайтили на атаку и привели подкрепы просто в бой.
Ну да, да. Ну, ничего необычного там не было.
Okay, so that battle, it was more or less calculated bait. They baited Nelva Academy to attack there, looking very weak at that point. But they calculated every step of the battle and how the reinforcements are gonna arrive and turn the battle in their favor. That's basically it.
Yeah,
И
Just
еще
like yeah.
скажи, мы ждали, скажи, мы ждали их атаки, мы понимали, что они пойдут в атаку, потому что у них не было нефти, и им нужно было как-то до того, как появится артиллерия, что-то сделать. Ну,
Yeah, they
пойти в
also
атаку.
understood you. They waited for you to attack because they knew you had no oil, and so you were the team that has to do something before the artillery comes out, and they basically waited for you and they baited you.
Yeah, that was a good play. Okay, when the attack was on its way, the team leader of Nelva Academy contacted me, saying he sensed a trap, and when I came and saw the map, I told him, "Oh yeah, that's obviously a trap." I saw the AC near Vienna. That was a good trap. It was really a good trap. I was not pleased to see the academy lose the match, but I think the win was deserved. You know, that was a good match. That was not a defeat because Nelva Academy was not at the level I was waiting from them, and I want to thank Vlad for the defeat. They needed some defeat to learn how to play better, how to see the traps. So thanks for that.
Окей. Вам говорят спасибо за то, что вы показали, потому что это дало Академии намного больше понимания, как играть против таких плеев. То есть именно как когда вы их забайтили на атаку и привели подкрепы. Вот. Они думали, что это будет байт, но все равно решились на атаку. И, ну, в конце концов, они вам благодарны очень сильно за поражение. Вы научили Академку, как лучше смотреть на это.
Скажи, что скажи, что еще их научим, если возьмут нас в ТАФ.
Владка,
Куда вас
нахер не
возьмут?
надо посылать прямо сейчас. Не время.
Что?
Куда вас возьмут?
ТАФ.
Не важно.
Это французский турнир. Они нас не
Окей.
взяли. Скажи, еще их научим, если возьмут.
Yeah, well, coming back to this point,
И спасибо,
so
спасибо.
Vlad said thank you, and also they're looking forward to actually play with French community in their French tournament.
Yeah. We will talk about that later because it's difficult today to say that we will accept this, the team to play in the French tournament because we had some explosion in the French community and 4 or 5 teams disappeared. So we are reorganizing everything. It's a bit complex today.
We
But
can
talk
move back
about
to
it
that.
later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question from me then for him, Tehluny. How is he? Is his team ready to be facing Pride of Lions? Are they excited for it?
Вопрос насчет следующей вашей игры. Я сначала чуть переведу, что Ника сказал. Он, в общем, сказал, что пока не надо расстраиваться, и, возможно, вас еще и пригласят даже, потому что у них сейчас есть проблемы с составами команд, и сейчас идет полная реорганизация турнира, так что еще рано говорить
Я понял.
уже точно, что вас не возьмут. Возможно, и возьмут. Вот. А Binnsy спрашивает теперь насчет следующей игры. Вы играете против прайдов. Как у вас настроение игру? Вы их боитесь? Вы, наоборот, на позитиве, то, что у вас все получится?
Ну, я уверен, что они меня боятся, потому что скажи, что там два игрока играли под моим руководством, и некоторые игроки лидеры, ну, лидеры этой академки, капитаны.
Okay, so
Они меня боятся. Главное, что они меня боятся. И двое играли под моим руководством. И капитан в том числе.
Okay, so he has no fear at all. He actually thinks that actually his Pride of Lions should be afraid of him, and they are afraid of him because also he says that two of their players in the current roster are played against played under his command in some other games. So he thinks it's actually on Pride to fear them.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Obviously, we've still got Evingley here as well, so that should definitely heat some things up ready for this battle. That's going to go down.
Got some fighting spirit there.
It's good.
Yes, well, it's in the Russian community. I think Pride and Birbambia, because Order is also part of Birbambia. The main alliance is Birbambia Kirgudu, so we are like two big rivals for who is the best. Pride at the moment has been the best. We are looking forward to challenge that.
Good. It's good to see that within the Rus community that's happening as well. Obviously, within the French, when you've got Nelva and obviously Blitz with that kind of same mentality as well, challenging each other every given moment. Obviously, it won't be happening within the SWC, but it's good to be seeing that kind of challenges around as well. And I wish both Pride and Birbambia the very best of luck in their game. And everything going forward towards the finals from me.
Вам обоим пожелали удачи, и вам, и Прайду. Okay, it's up to you.
Ну, скажи, удача нужна только для Прайда. У нас все только твердый расчет, железный.
Okay. Vlad is like he's saying only Pride will need luck. Birbambia has everything calculated.
Yeah, I bet Evingley's sat there just laughing to himself at this point, ready for a good challenge ahead. Evingley, would you like any response to that? Whilst we've got you, Evingley's gone for a little nap, I think. Nico, you got any more questions?
No, that's great. That's okay. Thank you very much. Oh, one last question. Do you want me to put a Ukrainian flag on your team instead of a Russian one?
Влад, вы хотите, чтобы у вас на команду повесили украинский флаг, а не русский?
Да, хотим.
Yes, they would appreciate it.
Okay, no problem.
Just please send our apologies to him for any.
Yeah.
Yes.
I put the flags of the servers, and if you want your own flag, I can put it. That's just cosmetic, so no problem. So I put it on Birbambia Kirgudu and the Order BiKu, both team.
I don't know, because Order is also mixed. I have to ask my teammates first.
Okay,
I cannot make this decision.
No problem.
Solo.
Okay, it's like you want. No problem.
I was
Evingley?
gonna say, with the Order of BiKu being mixed, why don't you guys both have the Russian and the Ukraine
I
flag?
can do it.
Well, I think if we have a lot of players from every country, you could as well put like a Soviet flag on us.
No. No Soviet flag, okay? No Soviet flag.
Evingley?
That one's iffy.
Yeah. Evingley, I know you've just unmuted yourself. Have you got anything to say towards Birbambia ready for the semi-finals?
Yeah, I will buy and send new brush for Vladkomar.
Right.
Oh, great. So, cool. Thank you very much, Vlad, for coming out tonight. We really do appreciate it. And best of luck in your semi-final game against the Pride of Lions Academy.
Тебе еще раз пожелали удачи и спасибо тебе за то, что пришел и дал интервью.
Да, им спасибо. Thank you for you.
As always, my friend, and thank you very much and good luck.
Thanks.
As much as you say you don't need it, but good luck. So, I think that pretty much rounds up our night. We have tried to get hold of the Ronins, but I do know the Ronins are having a very good party right now because they've all meeting up in real life and they're having a good little time before their next SWC match. So I do wish them a very great night. Marco, I know, is very busy with Icadetti because he's got work at the moment in time, and Fez, unfortunately, is not around for LNZ either. So, would we like to close this out, Nico? Have a little chat around the last 3 games for the team captains that's not here, just so we can give them a bit of a spotlight?
Okay, sorry, I was putting the flags. I didn't understand a word you say.
Absolutely, it's fine. So I'm just going to speak around the other 3 remaining teams that obviously team captains couldn't make tonight.
Yeah.
Just so we could give a bit of spotlight.
Let's go.
Icadetti will start off in the top corner, the Italian team, the last remaining Italian team in the competition. Done really, really well, haven't they?
Yes, I was a bit surprised that they did so well because last year and the year before they were not that good. Okay, it's still a good team. Okay, but last year it was a bit how to say underwhelming. Underwhelming there. But this year they beat Blitz 2, and I followed the match a bit from afar, and it was tense. It was a tense match. As Blitz 2 said to me, they are good about the mechanics, the economy. They know how to wait and to bait. So I guess Icadetti against the Ronins is an even match. I guess it's an even match.
Yeah, so I know the Ronins pretty well, knowing Sanczi and most of his teammates as well, really well. I know Ronins, they beat Nelva Academy as well, so I'm pretty sure you've got some sort of insight from that. But
yes, I have. And I can give some information.
Yeah, that'd be lovely. I think the Ronins is definitely well up for this year, and I can see them really up for the Icadetti game. I know they've had a little bit of a rest period now. I know Icadetti's had the same roughly, but I do think, just for me, the Ronins this year seem to have just knocked it up that little bit more, and really are wanting to fight for that final. I do think they may just pip this one against Icadetti. Sanczi, great team, great leadership over there, doing really well on the Polish silver. Same for LNZ as well. Yeah, I think they're going to do very well, both teams. I think they've done extremely well to get to where they are. Yeah.
Yes, totally. Yeah, you know, the Ronins is one of the main team of this community now, mainly because of Sanczi. Sanczi is everywhere. He's also the organizer, the main organizer of the SWC. So he's very active, very talkative too. So I hoped to see him tonight, but well, no problem. In the match against Nelva Academy, as I could follow from where I stand, it was more tense than the match against Birbambia Kirgudu. Birbambia won with a great bait, and they won fair and square on this one. And the Ronins, it was more difficult. It was I even thought that Nelva Academy could beat the Ronins on this match, even after they engaged the fight on Praha. That was not the level I was expecting from Nelva Academy and from the Ronins. It was very tense, very hard-fought battles, and I think the Ronins had they really tired from this match. So I can speak from them, okay, but it was a long match. It was a tense match, and I think the Ronins need to pump up the economic side of the game. They want to compete against Icadetti. They can win, obviously. The Ronin is a great team and they can win, but for me, it's more of a match that I could have imagined the first time we talked about it.
Great. So let's go with your predictions then. Are you going to say Icadetti or are you going to say the Ronins?
I say the Ronins. I'm pretty sure they learned from the mistakes against Nelva Academy, even if they won the match. And I think they will win against Icadetti and
reach the
go
final?
all the way. Yes, I think so. I think so.
I'm going to say the same. Sorry, mate, go on.
I was gonna say I'm gonna go with the underdog.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Icadetti. I think they'll surprise people.
They already have. Beating Blitz 2 is not as an easy feat. You know, it's a great team too. They have experienced team leader and they have many matches played against great teams. Okay, not just it's not just an academy. So yes. Like I said, Icadetti, they have a strong team this year, and they deserve to be there on this place.
Absolutely.
But I don't want to see Polish against Polish in the final. sorry for me being French, but I would like to see Icadetti against Nelva. That's my dream. But in fact, I fear that it will be a full Polish final.
I'm going to go with the Ronins on this one as well. I think they're going to up their game for the semis and the final. So I'm going to continue backing the Ronins throughout this into the final. But that takes no means away from Icadetti. I think they're a very strong team, and anybody could really take it on the day. It's definitely going to be a good game to watch for sure. Moving over to the other side then, we've got LNZ and Nelva. So obviously we've not got any LNZ here today. But wow, they have overcome Blitz, one of the most well-known French teams out there. They obviously overcame Battlecry Academy as well to get there. So not an easy route. They've had to go the hard way around things. They've worked hard to get to where they are.
Yes, totally.
And some great team members, may I add, as well. There's some great players in that team.
Yes. First of all, you got Tequila, who's not only a good player, she's a good person. So she's organizing the HAT, almost single-handedly. I don't know the word. So almost alone. And I helped her the way I could. But she's fantastic.
Absolutely.
That was really great to work with her. And they got Faz. So Faz is one of the greatest team leader you can find in the community. So yeah, he's well known. Not talkative too much, but he knows the game
very well.
Like he knows his fingertips, you know.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so it's a great player. he shows great. How can you say that? Tactical restraints. Like Birbambia Kirgudu, like Vlad say, just prior, calculate his fights and know how to attack. He will attack when he knows that he will win. So when you see his armies coming, you're done for. So it's pretty impressive to have to play against such a great opponent. But Nelva is not a little team.
We're going to come to that. We're going to come to that. Let's talk about Nelva first then. So Nelva making their way through the French, the playoffs realistically. Done really well, as we expected realistically, to meet you in the semi-finals. Absolutely credit to you, Nico, and your team. Very strong team, mate. I can see you doing very well here. So yeah, do you want to... We really spoke about it with Remi. I'm going to ask you, Nico. I'm going to ask you, who do you think is going to progress to the finals?
I'll say Nelva because I'm forced to. Okay, I'm forced to. But I'm not confident in the match, but I'm confident in my team. Okay, so if anything goes down for us and Liga wins the match, it's because they will be better and have a better strategy. Okay, so I think we have what it takes to win, and we will give our best. And it's not written in the stone.
Absolutely.
We came here to win, okay? And all the way we had only French team to beat, and that was a bit underwhelming too. And now we have a real fight, and now we can show why we won against Battle last year, why we won against Battle Cry last year. It was not chance, and we're better this year. So I want to play this match since last year, because I hadn't any player left to play the third place in AT last year, and it was Nelva against Liga. But this year, I can test my mettle,
Yeah, absolutely. Adam, who are you going to go for, Liga or Nelva?
Let's go with what teams?
The Liga, LNZ against Nelva. We do want to end the stream today, my friend.
I want to say Nelva because they the few people that were in World War League I saw. I haven't really got to see LNZ do much, but I did watch Nelva during World War League, and they're a pretty good team. I'd like to see them make it to the finals.
I'm going to upset you a little bit, Nico, my friend, and I'm going to go with LNZ on this one. I do think we are probably looking at the winners right here. I am going to say LNZ have really stepped up their game, and they are out with a force. They've definitely been playing along all the community, like you just said. I think this year they really have got that bit of fire and bit of hunger in them to get it. Beating a team like Blitz obviously shows that. It's definitely going to be a hard-fought game between both of them, and no team's going to be giving up so easily. And I really do think it's going to come down to a strategy on this one. I don't think anyone's going to be dropping any eco at any point. I don't think anyone's going to be thinking of the worst battle plan, but I think, in my opinion, LNZ is going to take this one. Sorry, Nico.
No problem. No problem. No hard feeling on that. As I said just earlier, if I lose, I lose. If they win, they were the better team. Now, at this level of play, maybe on 10 match, I could win 5.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
I do.
already good.
I think all semi-finals is down to a coin toss, realistically. So we'll go with you then, Adam. To start off with, you had Icadetti versus a Nelva in the final. Who's going to go and win it? This is with Adam, isn't it?
Let's go for Nelva.
You're going for you. We'll start with Adam.
Icadetti.
You're going to say Icadetti is going to win the whole competition? Fair enough, fair enough.
Yep.
Nico,
Nice.
you went with the Ronins to beat Icadetti, and you've backed yourselves to beat LNZ.
Yes.
Who's going to win it, my friend?
Okay, I still think we could beat the Ronins or Icadetti. I think the level of Liga is above both Icadetti and Ronin, and I like to think that Nelva is better than Nelva Academy and could beat the Ronins. So I'm fairly confident on that, but I say.
Well, I'm going to go for a little bit of a shock here. I've gone for obviously the Ronins and LNZ in this final, and I'm going to back the Ronins here. I think they're going to go on and win this entire tournament. I think they're going to know LNZ's game plan, both being a Polish final, and I think the Ronins is going to take the Polish cherry on the top, as we could say, and take the SWC competition all for themselves this year.
They could, you know.
I think it's possible.
If they manage Icadetti fast enough, they could face a Liga that comes out of an exhausting match against Operation Blitzkrieg, and maybe the same long, exhausting match against Nelva. So maybe you don't know.
I agree. That's exactly how my brain's thinking. But we
Yeah.
shall see. We shall see. Let's move over to the HAT tournament then. Let's do the same kind of principle. We've got Birbambia Kirgudu versus the Pride of Lions Academy. What are you saying, Adam? Who are you going to go for?
I want to. Sadly, Pride.
You're going to go with Pride?
Yeah.
I'll go with Birbambia Kirgudu.
Oh, so you're leaving it up to me for the final vote. I'm going to go with Birbambia Kirgudu too as well. I'm going to go with the top side of this one. I think they're just going to be slightly overpowering for Pride of Lions Academy, even though Pride of Lions has been very, very well played this year. I just want to keep in mind that they've probably got one or two up-and-coming players in their first tournament, and they've done extremely well to be proud of themselves. But I think Birbambia is going to be just that little bit better. Moving over to the other side then, we've got Livy versus the Order of BiKu. Adam?
Order BiKu.
And yourself, Nico?
Frankly, I don't know. I hope you win, because I like to see different flags in the finals. But the Order BiKu is a tough team. Tehluny is a tough player. So yeah, it will be a really, really difficult match. So I hope your players are ready for this. But I will go for the Order BiKu because I think they got a better level overall. But I hope you win.
Yeah, if I'm going to go with my head on this one, I'm probably going to say the Order of BiKu. But obviously, I've got to go with my heart, and I've got to go with my own team. So sorry, Tehluny. I'm pretty sure you'll understand, my friend. But I'm going to go with Livy on this one, just because it's my heart, my friend, and it's anything else. You know that. So let's speak about the finals then. So we've gone with Adam has gone with Pride of Lions Academy versus the Order of BiKu. Who's going to be your winner?
I want Order of BiKu to beat Pride of Lions. I really do.
Oh, interesting. So you're going for the Order of the BiKu?
I am, but I know that Pride of Lions is a pretty good team, so I think it'd be a closer match than I want it to be. But I would definitely love for Order of BiKu to beat Pride.
So you're going to go for the Order of BiKu?
Yep.
Good lad. Nico, yourself. So you've gone for. Did you choose Livy or BiKu? No, you chose BiKu in the end, even though you'd love to see Livy go there. So you've gone for Birbambia and the Order of BiKu. Who are you choosing? Nico? Can you still hear me, guys?
Yeah, sorry.
sorry.
Yeah, I can tell you.
That's good. Okay, sorry. So yeah, I still think Birbambia Kirgudu will win. They say earlier that the Order BiKu was coming from Birbambia, so normally Birbambia got the best place and needs to win against the second teams. So I'll say Birbambia Kirgudu.
Okay, cool. And then obviously I went with Livy and Birbambia. Again,
sorry, mate. Can I interrupt? I think you misunderstand me, Nico, because
yes.
we are the same alliance,
Okay.
but Order was formed to be the main 5v5 team, and
Oh,
Birbambia
oh,
Kirgudu
oh.
was the main alliance, but was
Okay.
also used to be the academy of Order for 5v5, but it's not anymore because we are, the same level.
Okay. So the Order BiKu is the competitive side. What's now Birbambia Kirgudu? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's how
right.
it's was created.
Okay, so much more difficult choice then. Okay. Okay, let's say good luck. I don't know.
And
Okay, I'll stick
maybe
to
to make it
Birbambia.
more difficult. Vlad actually used to be also a player in Order as well. Anastasia used to lead the academy, but then we decided to like equalize the teams in terms of experience and level. So we now have actually 2 equal teams. We don't have actually academy.
Nice. And this is the final I want to see, okay? So make the best of your plays and win the boss match and come show us your final Birbambia. I want to see that.
Well, in that case, thank
We
you
will
very
try.
much, Tehluny. If I'm going to back myself to beat the Order BiKu, then obviously,
Let's go.
if you've just said that you're going to be on the same level, then I'm going to have to back myself for Livy again to take the final against Birbambia, because you've just said they're on the same level. So if I've got to back myself against the Order, I'm going to have to back myself against Birbambia, aren't So yeah, I'm going to say
You're totally right.
Honestly, I think about the last 4 teams, anything could happen, and any team has now the chance to become the champion. I think we are pretty much even. So
absolutely.
it will be the drafts will be very important, and every little detail in the game itself will be very important.
Absolutely,
So
and
good
I'd
luck
like to
all.
add to that. I think every team that's got to this semi-final in both HAT and SWC fully deserve the win. And I think absolutely every team deserves to be where they're at, and it just goes to show no matter who doesn't go through and who does become unfortunately a loser on one side and does go out, I think they should be walking away from both tournaments with their heads held high and said absolutely well done, pat on the back to get this far and play such great teams throughout. All 8 teams are great, well known within the community, and ultimately can go and win at any given day. Anything to add, Adam?
No?
No? Nico?
No.
Well,
Great last word.
Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. It's been a really good night. Thank you very much for all the teams that have progressed and made it this far. Final time, we'll just have a quick read for all the teams, just to give you a little bit of spotlight. So, well done, Icadetti. Well done, the Ronins. Well done, Liga. Well done, Nelva. You guys are the semi-finalists in the Supremacy World Competition. To get such far is a great achievement. Well done, Birbambia Kirgudu, Pride of Lions Academy, Livy via Victus, and the Order BiKu for making the semi-finals of Heroes Alliance tournament. You've done exceptionally well as well to get that far, and may the best team win in both competitions. I've been Binnsy. We've also been welcomed by Adam as well, and from Nico, and all our special guests tonight. Thank you very much as well, Pingy, for joining us. It's been a great night, and good luck to the rest of the competitions. Maybe, just maybe, we might be sat here with the winners for the next live stream. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Binnsy.